Hi everybody, it's Benita here to do my August forecast, and I'm doing something a little different this time. I'm using you all know how much I love my Osho Zen Tarot. It's my go-to deck when I'm working with clients at my office and at my Zoom sessions too. This is the Osho Transformation Tarot, and it works quite differently because normally you'll just pick one card and it's set up as a series of stories. So this is more about looking at what's the storyline for this month. And I'm going to actually, it's like story time here with me now. I'm going to read from the book this time because the story that comes with this card, I think, is quite riveting. And I'd have to say it's one I pulled today. It just happens to be the one I pulled. But of all the parables in this deck, it's my favorite. And I think you'll see why. So the card is called Energy. I don't know how well you can see that image. Should be able to see that quite well. So if you look closely, you'll see this man is wearing a certain kind of necklace. So the story is the story of Angulimal. There's a few, I think there's another name that he goes by as well, but that's the name that they're using in here. So this basically says, either you make your energy creative or it will turn sour and become destructive. Energy is a dangerous thing. If you have it, you have to use it creatively. Otherwise, sooner or later, you will find it has become destructive. So find something, whatsoever you like to put your energy into. If you want painting, or if you want dancing or singing, or if you want to play an instrument, whatsoever you want, find a way in which you can become completely lost. If you can be lost playing a guitar, good. In those moments when you are lost, your energy will be released in a creative way. If you cannot be lost in painting and singing and dancing and playing guitar or a flute, then you'll find lower ways of being lost. Anger, rage, aggression. These are lower ways to be lost. So I'm going to give you my own perspective on how that applies to what's going on in our world currently in our August. But I want to share with you the story that goes with the card. Gautama Buddha initiated a murderer into sannyas. And so to become a sannyasin is to become a holy person. So to initiate somebody is to bring them into that holy role in society. And the murderer was no ordinary murderer. Rudolf Hess is nothing compared to him. His name was Angulimal. Angulimal means a man who wears a garland of human fingers. He had taken a vow that he would kill 1,000 people. From each single person, he would take one finger so that he could remember how many he had killed. And he will make a garland of all those fingers. In his garland of fingers, he had 999 fingers. Only one was missing. And that one was missing because his road was closed. Nobody was coming that way. But Gautama Buddha entered that closed road. The king had put guards on the road to prevent people, particularly strangers who didn't know that a dangerous man lived behind the hills. The guards told Gautama Buddha, that is not the road to be used. This is the place where Angulimal lives. Even the king has not the guts to go on this road. That man is simply mad. His mother used to go to him. She was the only person who used to go once in a while to see him, but even she stopped. The last time she went there, he told her, now only one finger is missing. And just because you happen to be my mother, I want to warn you that if you come another time, you will not go back. I need one finger desperately. Up to now, I've not killed you because other people were available, but now nobody passes on this road except you. So I want to make you aware that the next time, if you come, it will be your responsibility, not mine. Since that time, his mother has not come. The guard said to Buddha, don't unnecessarily take the risk. And do you know what Buddha said to them? Buddha said, if I don't go, then who will go? Only two things are possible. Either I will change him, and I cannot miss this challenge, or I will provide him with one finger so that his desire is fulfilled. Anyway, I'm going to die one day. Giving my head to Angulimal will be at least of some use. Otherwise, one day I will die and you will put me on the funeral pyre. I think that it is better to fulfill somebody's desire and give him peace of mind. Either he will kill me or I will kill him. But this encounter is going to happen. You just lead the way. The people who used to follow Gautama Buddha, his close companions, who were always in competition to be closer to him, started slowing down. Soon there were miles between Gautama Buddha and his disciples. They all wanted to see what happened, but they didn't want to be too close. Angulimala was sitting on his rock, watching. He could not believe his eyes. A very beautiful man of such immense charisma was coming towards him. Who could this man be? He had never heard of Gautama Buddha. But even this hard heart of Angulimala started feeling a certain softness toward the man. He was looking so beautiful coming towards him. It was early morning, a cool breeze, and the sun was rising, and the birds were singing, and the flowers had opened, and Buddha was coming closer and closer. Finally, Angulimala, with his naked sword in his hand, shouted, "Stop!" Gautama Buddha was just a few feet away, and Angulimala said, "Don't take another step, because then the responsibility will not be mine. Perhaps you don't know who I am." Buddha said, "Do you know who you are?" Angulimala said, "This is not the point. Neither is it the place nor the time to discuss such things. Your life is in danger." Buddha said, "I think otherwise. Your life is in danger." That man said, "I used to think I was mad. You are simply mad. And you go on moving closer. Then don't say that I killed an innocent man. You look so innocent and so beautiful that I want you to go back. I will find somebody else. I can wait. There is no hurry. If I can manage 999, it is only a question of one more. But don't force me to kill you." Buddha came very close, and Angulimala's hands were trembling. The man was so beautiful, so innocent, so childlike. He had already fallen in love. He had killed so many people. He'd never felt this weakness. He'd never known what love is. For the first time, he was full of love. So there was a contradiction. The hand was holding the sword to kill the person, and his heart was saying, "Put the sword back in the sheath." Buddha said, "I am ready, but why is your hand shaking? You are such a great warrior, even kings are afraid of you, and I am just a poor beggar. Except the begging bowl, I don't have anything. You can kill me, and I will feel immensely satisfied that at least my death fulfills somebody's desire. My life has been useful. My death has also been useful. But before you cut my head, I have a small desire. And I think you will grant me a small desire before killing me." Before death, even the hardest enemy is willing to fulfill any desire. Angulimala said, "What do you want?" Buddha said, "I want you to just cut from the tree a branch which is full of flowers. I will never see these flowers again. I want to see those flowers closely, feel their fragrance and their beauty in this morning sun, their glory." So Angulimala cut with his sword a full branch full of flowers, and before he could give it to Buddha, Buddha said, "This was only half the desire. The other half is, please put the branch back on the tree." Angulimala said, "I was thinking from the very beginning that you are crazy. Now this is the craziest desire. How can I put this branch back?" Buddha said, "If you cannot create, you have no right to destroy. If you cannot give life, you don't have the right to give death to any living thing." A moment of silence and a moment of transformation. The sword fell down from his hands. Angulimala fell down at the feet of Gautama Buddha, and he said, "I don't know who you are, but whoever you are, take me to the same space in which you are. Initiate me." By that time, the followers of Gautama Buddha had come closer and closer. They were all around, and when he fell at Buddha's feet, they immediately came close. Somebody raised the question, "Don't initiate this man, he is a murderer." Buddha said again, "If I don't initiate him, who will initiate him?" And I love the man. love his courage. And I can see tremendous possibility in him. A single man fighting against the whole world. I want this kind of people who can stand against the whole world. Up to now, he was standing against the world with a sword. Now, he will stand against the world with a consciousness, which is far sharper than any sword. I told you that murder was going to happen, but it was not certain who was going to be murdered. Either I was going to be murdered or Anguilla. Now you can see Anguilla is murdered. And who am I to judge? I find that story so riveting. And the line that jumps out to me the most is basically, if you can't create, you have no business destroying. And I think we can take that into the subtleties of our lives. How are we interacting with other people around us? Are we being destructive? Are we being critical? Can we use our words to build people up instead of pulling them down? If we are standing against the world, what are we standing for? Are we standing for our higher principles? Are we getting judgmental and wanting to think of our way of being as better than anybody else's? Gautama Buddha humbled himself to this man. He risked his very life. He was even willing to potentially be killed by him to satisfy his last desire. He completely surrendered to his experience. So when you're thinking about this coming month, think about, in what ways do you stand up? What's important to you? How do you convey it? And can you convey what is important to you in a way that creates and doesn't destroy? Can you bring that humility of Buddha to a situation, to meet somebody where they're at, to have compassion for how they are struggling? It's something that I can relate to. When I lived in Ontario, I used to work with women in the prison system there. I worked with women who had ended people's lives, and I didn't see that side of them. I saw the child that had gone through a lot of abuse when they were young. I worked with them from that perspective, so I wasn't afraid because I didn't see them as a threat. I saw them as somebody who was suffering. So when you think about how you operate in the world this month, can you see other people suffering? Even if their opinion differs greatly from yours, even if their point of view is very different, can you meet them where they are with humility, with compassion? Can you create? Can you build up? It's easy to destroy. It's easy to be hurtful when we think we're right. It's easier to take something apart and break trust than it is to build it again. So that's the message I'm bringing. I appreciate all of you who've popped in to watch. I will find some time this week to come on and do some mini readings. You can tell my voice is going today. But I will find some time this week, and I will announce it on the group so that you can see that I am doing that. I'd love to meet up with you guys again this week. I hope you're having an amazing August. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. I know there's a lot of destruction going on in the world right now. We've got wars. We've got people in our own country fighting against each other. Let's see what we can create. Let's see what beauty we can bring into the world. Thanks, everybody, and I will see you later this week. Bye for now.